it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, June 6th to Saturday, June 12th. So last week, we definitely got shook up again. We are still in the snow globe. Luckily for us, we shifted into June, which kind of triggered that numerological life lesson for us to restructure, reorganize, especially where our systems, our routines are concerned. Putting the focus back onto us, onto our bodies, our mind, body, and soul equation. What is it asking for? We have to give our body what it wants and what it needs, especially because we are in eclipse season. We are being downloaded with huge amounts of information from the cosmos. And because of that, Ascension symptoms are maxed right out. So of course, last week we had Venus move into Cancer. This likely triggered a lot of emotions. It happened on the exact same day that we had our last quarter moon in Pisces, triggering a huge release. And for many of us, that came in the form of anger, rage, and of course, tears. Now, tears often come out of us when we reach a breaking point. And yes, last week we reached such a breaking point in order to trigger our inner emotions to release in whatever way we could get that energy out of our bodies. So the soothing mechanisms that are now kicking in and our coping mechanisms that are kicking in are very much because Cancer and energy is the mother energy, and we just want to nurture ourselves back to a stable place of safety and security where our emotions are concerned. So what's on the docket for this week? Well, we are moving in to the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini window. We are deep in eclipse season, deep in retrograde season. Everything is crazy. Everything is confusing on purpose. And we are going to reach a very pivotal point, not only in our ascension, but in the illumination of the new information, the path, the details coming together to shift us in a brand new direction. That's why we have to surrender to the cosmos at this point. That is why our intuition is leading this particular part of our journey, because it's all very karmically scripted. And because we're confused, it breaks us down. It makes us in a place where we're very vulnerable. Our minds are a little bit open. Our hearts are desperately searching for stability, for assurity. And this particular moon event is going to download us with such potent information that we will literally be different people after this eclipse takes place. So hours after the eclipse takes place, what do we have? Mars moving into Leo. This is going to be the boost that we need, the clarity that we need, the passion, the desire that we need in order to come out of this fog, to get on a new path and to push ourselves forward, going after what it is that we want, aligning with our heart space, with our truth, with our intuition. And trust me, it is going to set us up for some very beautiful opportunities to make connections, to step into abundance, and to truly align with our path moving forward. So let's jump into it. Let's see what this week has in store. So, the Ascension symptoms for this week. First and foremost, the beginning of the week, we're going to go low and we're going to go slow. We're going to feel very heavy. We're going to feel very weighted. We are like a sloth going uphill in frozen molasses in the wintertime. Okay, but if you don't like that analogy, we are underwater, recognizing that we are wearing cinder block shoes. Okay, low and slow. We're feeling stuck. We're feeling rooted. We are like a tree. Okay. We recognize how far our roots are in the ground. We want to move into a different spot, but we're a tree. We can't move. We're getting very fixated in that mentality. And so a lot of the reason of why this is happening, first and foremost, we are definitely feeling the root chakra be activated. The root chakra, of course, connects us to our 3D realm, roots us in our physical environments, And with the moon in Taurus early on in the week, giving us this beautiful opportunity to ground and to center, we're going to choose to take it low and slow. We are going to choose to pretend that we are a tree. And in that time of feeling low and slow and very rooted into the earth, we're going to recognize where it is that we are voluntarily staying stuck, which isn't a good thing. Now, this week, the moon rules. The moon rules. And what does the moon rule over? Digestion. Now, I know in the past weeks, we've been experiencing a lot of digestive issues. 1 week we are constipated. We can't get things moving because we're holding on to the past. We can't process information. And then all of a sudden, things are just moving too quickly through us. We can't hold on to anything because we're processing things at such a fast rate. What is happening this week with digestion is nausea and butterflies. Now, a lot of the reason of why the nausea is taking place is because there's such a confusion, there's such a delusion going on that it almost feels like we're on a boat and, we're getting a little bit seasick here. Our environment is not stable by any means, and we're getting a little bit sick about it. The butterflies are coming because we get these moments, these very powerful moments of the new light codes coming in, of these new aha moments coming in, of the new revelations, the details, the information coming in, where we feel aligned. We feel like we're in purpose. We feel like we know exactly what we're going to do. And what do? We get excited about it. That is the emotion that we're looking to attach to, is excitement and confidence and surety. So we get butterflies in our stomach because of the energy fluctuation, really putting an emphasis on where it is that we need to get excited about life again. Now, that being said, the head space, the head fog, the dizziness, the confusion, the bouts of anxiety, the bouts of panic are going to continue, especially seeing that, of course, new moon energy, eclipse energy, Gemini energy, all kinds of mental plane confusion and pressure. Now, that being said, it's going to, again, I'm going to use the boat analogy, right? Yeah, we get dizzy. Yeah, we get confused. We don't know if we're pointing north. We don't know if we're pointing south. And then we get anxiety because we feel like, oh my God, when is this going to end? When are we going to get back on earth? When are we going to get stable ground? And we don't know. We are in a state right now where we have to surrender to we don't know. And not knowing does not feel good. Now, the heart chakra, of course, is being activated by a couple of different things here. Venus, of course, heart chakra related. But Mars moving out of Cancer into Leo, firing us up, making us excited again for life, is going to activate our heart chakra in a different way. So it's almost like Venus in Cancer, very nostalgic, very empathetic, very emotional and intuitive and focused on, tradition and what we're attached to and the home, the family, is kind of constructing topics and themes in order to break us down. Heartbreak. We need to have that heartbreak for Mars moving into Leo to put the pieces back together in a better way where new passions, new desires are emerging. So it's almost like we are in this tug of war in our heart space where there is an aggressive sadness that needs to happen in order for an aggressive passion to emerge from that heartbreak. So of course, we're going to feel that in our heart chakra. Yes, the headaches, the head pressure, the eye pressure, the teeth pressure, the jaw pressure is going to continue. That's just an ascension symptom that we're not going to get away from quite yet. One thing that I do want to mention is that our level of thirst is going to be super high. I want you to pour as much water into your body as you possibly can for a couple of reasons. First of all, we're thirsty. We have dry mouth. We have a film in our mouth because our thirst for knowledge, which is this Gemini energy, for information, Gemini energy, for new ways of doing things, Gemini energy, is so high that our physical bodies are going to feel the repercussions of that want, need, and desire to align with a higher truth, to align with a higher knowledge. So pour in as much water into your body as you can possibly take. Stay hydrated. It is adding to flushing out the toxins, flushing out the old light codes. It is providing the physical 3D body with a way to basically cleanse the system, help this purging chapter go a little bit quicker. We also want to talk about that there are a lot of skin ailments emerging. Now, skin rashes, breakouts maybe on your face in places that you don't normally break out. A lot of people are reporting getting breakouts on their forehead, around their third eye. Now, here's a fun fact. In our physical body, the skin, of course, is the largest organ. And by the time there is a problem inside our body with, organs not functioning properly, having energy blockages in our body, the skin is the last indicator that we get of the inner transformation going on. So, anytime that we get a skin rash, it is the last cry for help that our body has to give us, saying something isn't working inside of us. There are toxins emerging to the surface to be released. And what do we need to do? We need to help that process. The breakouts on our face that are happening, especially around the third eye, is because new ideas are coming in, which means that old ideas are having to be released. When the new energy comes in, the old has to come out somehow. And the old comes out through physical ailments, through skin ailments, through all of these ascension symptoms that we're having. And what's interesting is that a lot of people will be seeing a lot of number synchronicities more so than others, because numerology carries a heavy weight, a heavy knowledge that helps validate for us where it is that we're on our path. And every single time we become aware and conscious of a universal hint and clue, suddenly our third eye opens that much more. And when our third eye opens that much more and we come into a state of awareness, what happens? We have to release old limiting beliefs, old ideas, old emotions. How do we do that? It gets released inside of us. What happens to that? It makes its way to the surface. What does that mean? We see it on the skin. So of course, if you feel like you need to consult a medical professional, by all means, go ahead. But at the same time, this is very much an ascension symptom that we have to face, that we have to kind of go through. The last thing that I want to talk about is the dream states in which we're currently having. Dreams have been totally out of control. Here's the thing. Many of us do not know the difference between a dream that the subconscious is taking us through in order to process psychologically and emotionally and spiritually the things that we are not able to process in our waking life, and the difference between astral traveling, seeing yourself in an alternate dimension, in an alternate reality, tapping into the visual representation of your higher self and what your higher self is experiencing. There is a difference. Regardless of whether you're having an actual dream state or an astral experience, right now, dreams are totally kerfuffled. Dreams are confusing. Dreams are overwhelming, but they have such hidden knowledge in them that we have a lot to learn about not only our current state of being, but the state of being that we're transforming into. And you can pull a lot of that through the hints and the clues from your dreamscape. So that's a beautiful way to reconnect to your higher self, is through the information coming through in the dream state. And because we're in eclipse season, because we're in retrograde season, the dream state is giving us so many more messages that we are open to in a dream state than we would be open to in this physical realm, really struggling to hold on to what is old, what is familiar, and holding on to logic and practicality.